to secure their own champion pools. They need that Sivir, they need that Maokai.
Yeah.
They need to give their resources to Uzi. And that was the other big thing that didn't happen that game, is prioritizing his lane, making sure that he got the snowball and the advantage. So expect to see a big change of gear if OMG want to come out 1-1 in this.
Yeah, we'll definitely see how it's going to be swapped out, as we are now in the pick and ban phase for game number 2. This time, it's LGD blue side, OMG red. Looks like, again, Kalista being stricken away from Imp, and Gragas taken away from Shueisha, along with Amazing's Alistair. So far, OMG aren't changing anything up. Will they let Flame get his Gnar? Will they let him get his Hecarim? Interestingly enough, they don't want TBQ on that Rek'Sai.
This is actually really curious. So Nunu probably going to be prioritizing this jungle, but TBQ's fine with, you know, picking up another Lee Sin like that. It's his big comfort champion, and he kind of really struggled initially when the meta shifted over into Cinderhulk.
Yeah.
LGD looked to early lane swaps to kind of shore up TBQ's weaknesses and hide him in the jungle, especially when he was on that Sejuani pick. So see which direction he goes now that Gragas and Rek'Sai are taken off the board. The thing that I'm actually really surprised about is LGD banning Alistar from blue side, because PYL is such a key component of their success, although it was really the Godfrey show last game. But normally it's PYL leading the charge, especially on that Alistar pick.
Yeah, so that is going to be the Rise last ban for
Tells
Xiong.
me of Victor.
Yeah, Victor definitely is a possibility for Godfrey. We'll have to see if it's first pick, because I would be very confident. There's the Maokai stricken away from Flame, and LGD now waiting on that first pick.
Sivir or... Yep, I was going to say Sivir or Victor.
Yeah, Sivir being looked at right now. Hecarim still on the board as well. I'd be very surprised not to see that. You can see there is the princess reference that we were talking about.
It's Princess Flame.
Yeah.
Except he's frozen.
He's the Ice Queen in the top lane.
Let it go.
I don't know. That, I think you just won.
Yeah. I did that song in karaoke the other night, too.
I know, I heard.
Yeah, unfortunately. On the other side, OMG, pretty standard rotation. So we asked what was TBQ going to look for now that Rek'Sai and Gragas were taken away. He's not a big Sejuani player. Plays Nunu. It's not the best. He goes back to his old favorite. Again, Lee Sin is his signature pick. And of course, you cannot let Sivir's team have Hecarim. So you have to take it away.
That's such a scary combination. The Sivir plus Hecarim. Devastating charge into Onslaught of Shadows, and then you've got Sivir to clean up. It's so scary. TBQ looks like he is going to go back to that Cinderhulk Sejuani, as it does seem like he's finally started to find his stride in the Cinderhulk juggle.
They take away Rek'Sai, they take away Gragas, they take away his Lee Sin, and he's back on Sejuani.
Yes. I mean, it works.
They hide him really well.
They do.
I would be shocked if LGD didn't look for a lane swap, because that's pretty much been their MO every single time TBQ does pick up that Sejuani. He's decent in the team fights, obviously able to land that Glacial Prism. Works really well in conjunction with Sivir, so...
Interestingly enough, we haven't seen any mid laners picked up just yet. They might be holding on to Cool for that last pick, as it looks like it's going to be Corki Annie locked in for OMG. And they did take Corki in game number 2 yesterday to... I wouldn't exactly call it success.
This is so interesting from Uzi, the fact that he's not looking towards his main. Again, just kind of this maturing, this evolution of his champion pool and his style and how he fits in OMG. He can't get the Sivir. I mean, last game he looked for Lucian, but this time going back to what he usually picks up, which is Corki.
Yeah, now we do have Rumble currently being hovered over for Flame. Remember, he's going up into the top against Xiong's Rek'Sai, and it does look like OMG want to save that counter pick for Cool. You can see he's that fifth spot still open. Fifth spot available, and it's going to be Victor locked in for Godfrey. That made it all the way to the 1, 2, 3, 4th draft phase.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see what Cool's response is going to be. Instantly locks Echo.
Oh boy, that's a choice.
That's a choice and a half.
No, I'm pretty sure that's just one choice.
Okay.
I mean, it could have been a choice and a half if it were a flex pick, but you don't really take Lee Sin into the mid lane
Let's look at these team comps.
Yes.
So we have a Pressar Murder Train composition from LGD coming through, where they're going to throw the Equalizer on top of you, the Glacial Prison, then you're going to eat all of that AoE damage with the ricochets, as well as the lasers and the Chaos Storm, and murder everywhere. On the other side, OMG this time around, they've got a ton of backline dive. And you know who that worked really well for? It was an earlier set. Vici. It worked well. there was a long pause where we stared into each other's eyes. No, Victor, very low mobility, so if you're able to do a lot of backline dive like Echo, or Dade's Echo, you remember now, they dove back onto Victor Hatong, they just deleted him from the map. So see if OMG are able to find the same success here, because again, that's kind of the #1 thing with Sivir. She's a little bit low damage. They do have a triple threat composition that Rumble is in the top lane, but it's very easy to itemize against double AP in the mid and the top lane. So OMG do have a lot of options about how they want to approach this in terms of team fights.
It is a bit of a step in a different direction for them, because they have been prioritizing Uzi all of this time, but now they've got Hecarim to get into the backline. They've got Cool to get into the backline. Even Shui Shui a little bit on that Lee Sin. So the question is, how are they going to play this out once again? Do they continue to prioritize Uzi with this sort of team comp?
I would say that is probably the best bet for OMG, because that's where they find a lot of their success, but you've pretty much hit the nail on the head of why I think OMG is starting to struggle a little bit. It's that Uzi is their most important player and where they like to get the resources, but he's definitely not the most important champion in terms of how these two compositions need to line up.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he'll be able to succeed as we load into the Rift for game #2 between OMG and LGD. And we're loaded in now. It's LGD and OMG. You can see LGD took game #1. They're on the blue side this time around, and OMG going for something a little bit different this time around. Looks like Xiong going for the Crystalline Flask start. Might still be starting off with camps. Typically, you would only get the Crystalline Flask in the beginning and then smite it out. I'm interested to see what he decides to do. And Flame going for the Dorian Shield to be defensive. And let's keep an eye, like you said, if there is going to be a lane swap, as right now Imp and PYL are pulling back.
Yep, no surprises there. They like to lane swap when they have the Sejuani. The thing about Sej is that she's so brittle in her early jungle rotation just because she gets very low health. It's very easy for junglers like Lee Sin, like Rek'Sai, to just invade her, find her, and kill her. So by initiating the lane swap and having your numbers advantage on the top side, it dissuades any jungler of coming in and looking for you.
Yeah, so we'll see if TBQ is going to be nice and safe.
This is smart, though. He's starting top side of the map. So if he finishes an early clear, he could try to meet Sejuani, doing her blue buff and look for the assassination.
Could be very tricky. You can see Cool already shoving out in that mid lane. Takes a bit of harass from Godv, but he did start for Biscuits and that Crystalline Flask. While it looks like Uzi and Amazing head on down to that solo duo lane. Interestingly enough, you've got Amazing going for some early pressure. He looks to find TBQ and the red buff. Ooh, doesn't quite finish. So Amazing just trades a little bit of damage onto TBQ using that early Frost Queen's claim.
And very important that he, by stealing those smaller minions. Oh, flash!
He did flash. He was looking for Flame at the Gromp camp, or at the Raptor camp, but
Trying
Flame
to pull
makes it
a
over the wall. Yeah. Doesn't quite find it, and Godv's able to body block enough for Cool.
It's really important. Okay, so A, you trade Flash on support for Flash for Flame, almost kill him, so obviously that jungle is far more dangerous for them. But TBQ missing the level 2 experience because Amazing managed to steal some of the small little red buff camps. So now the question is, does he immediately book it over and try to kill TBQ, knowing that he started bottom side of the map? So they know he'll be on that blue buff. Nope.
He is going to just continue jungling instead.
So disappointed in you, Shui Shui.
Shui Shui, I am disappointed. He's still double jungling with Xiong as well, so it could be that he's just focused on
Nope,
trying to
I'm
get
disappointed. You can't save him.
All right. I tried. Your mother's angry, Shui Shui.
Otherwise, pretty standard setup. So the thing about having a lane swap as well is sometimes you can get a 4-man gank onto the mid lane. Doesn't seem to be the case this time around. So what this does is it creates an isolated mid laner where Godv and Cool really just get to look across each other and face off. And unfortunately for Echo, it's a melee champion versus a range champion with a lot of poke, and he is just really feeling the hurt from Victor.
Yeah, you can see he's doing pretty solid. He's actually up just a little bit in CS, but Godv is keeping the wave staggered out super far. There's the harass. Cool continuing to take punishment as he chucks through those biscuits, and OMG opts for the first dragon, seeing LGD's duo on the top side. Yeah,
this is actually really smart, pretty standard, taking advantage of the fact that they have a numbers discrepancy on the bottom side of the map, so it should be a free and easy objective. That said, with Cool in... Oh, actually, did they have vision of that at all? I believe they might have had it on Uzi in the bot side on the tower. I was going to say, because the minions died just as Cool would have gotten the dragon buff, but you can still hear it, but if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, they might just lose the timer on that. You can see some forward pings going down now for LGD as they might try to look to steal away a camp, possibly gank Cool. Godby finds some more harass. The flash doesn't land for TBQ. Cool, the ignite goes down. He could die here. It is. It's first blood for Godby.
Godby flashing forward. We talked about how the mid lane sometimes is isolated, sometimes there's 4 people running, and this time it was 3. Double flash ends Cool. So
yeah, really solid play. And once again, LGD, despite losing a lot of early pressure in the jungle, more than make up for it by picking up that first
And
blood.
this is really the power of LGD as a star-studded lineup in comparison to OMG. So OMG finds success when all of their resources go bottom on Uzi, but LGD have so much flexibility. You know, you can get Godby rolling, you can get Flame or Acorn rolling, Imp can carry on his own. So that's just really the power of a lot of these really stacked LPL rosters, is there's so many different options and flexibility on who can pick up the mantle and carry the game.
Yeah, so Godby was the primary carry in the previous game. Let's see if he's able to do it again in this one, as the Krug is successfully smited by Xiang. Smoted?
I don't know what it is.
Smited.
He smote it.
The past tense of smite. I'm just going to say that whenever.
What really bothers me is when people say that they were petted. The past tense
Petted?
of pet. No, I pet my cat.
Yeah.
Petted the cat? No.
That's the same.
It's a completely different topic, but it just always grinds my gears. Here's a gank.
Here comes PYL. The death sentence goes wide, even tossing out the dark passage for TBQ. Doesn't quite find it. You can see Cool keeping his cool in that mid lane. He's getting a lot of pressure right now, as it seems like OMG are responding pretty well, but LGD trying to keep Cool down as much as they can.
That said, Uzi has been freed up to start rotating around the map. We'll see if he goes back to the bottom side, maybe in the mid, or possibly to that top is where I'd expect him, but now in the mid lane.
Yeah, Chronosphere comes out. Godby doesn't have his flash. He takes a bit of damage here. TBQ gets onto Amazing. It's 2 versus 3, and they're actually coming ahead in damage. Teleport comes in. They're going to burn through Shui's health. He goes down. Godby, the second kill for LGD.
OMG trying to force something in the mid lane, but a nice teleport. And just Godby so much damage on this Victor right now. It's so cost efficient to the amount of AP that you get for the Hex Core. He is so powerful, easily turning that gank around. And fortunately, OMG, again, trying to make something happen around the map, but it's just not connecting.
Yeah, and just like that, LGD once again with a pretty decent gold lead in this game. As you can see, Godby doing so much harass to Cool. He finally gets level 6, takes that chrono break for his eject button, and it seems like he's not having that much fun. Now, Uzi has been swapped up to the top. PYL's up there to try to catch this wave, but Imp with an untimely recall is not going to make it in time, and Uzi gets some free damage on the tier 2.
Going to be doing a lot of damage, especially because he has that Sheen, can proc it on the tower whenever he wants, or he'll just proc it on PYL.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. PYL now chunked down to half health. As you can see, Uzi has now picked up his level 6, so that could be a bit of a tricky situation while Flame catches that wave on the bottom. We actually didn't point it out, but the bot tier 1 went down, and OMG sticking to their guns send Uzi to the top with the objective-focused rotation.
And this is a nice thing about Corki, as opposed to I guess alongside Sivir, is that he still has a lot of siege potential, obviously with his rockets and his poke. But when he gets that Trinity Force, having, again, that Sheen able to proc it onto the towers, he's fairly good at it. So we'll see how OMG utilize that mid-game power spike with the completed Trinity Force. Again, Sivir is going to go through a little bit of a mid-game power trough because she needs 3 items before her damage really takes off. But she counters that by having a really nice ultimate, which was actually nerfed on 5.11.
Yeah. We haven't seen too much effect from it happen just yet.
Nope,
but
they don't care.
Yeah.
Play Sivir every day, all day.
Seems like LGD are pretty content with that. They are setting up some defensive wards. You can see Shui was headed up top to look for a gank, but instead he decides to go for a recall while Flame continues to trade with Xiang. With the early level 6 and a wave building into his favor, he does have a mild CS lead over Xiang.
Mild?
He should be able to catch that wave and even it right back out. Bit of harass now being traded as Imp and PYL go forward on the hunt. Is burned. Uzi is only at 300 health. Flash now from Amazing. Is he going to be able to land the follow-up death sentence? Imp takes so much damage. He is forced to flash out of the rocket. Heal was just burned by both of the carries. The death sentence lands. Is Imp going to be able to turn it around? The flay isn't enough. Uzi kills PYL, but the boomerang from Imp lands forward and backward, and he gets a kill.
This is what we wanted in the first game. I wanted the 2v2 between Imp and Uzi. They trade even, but more importantly, the support for the AD carry. So LGD, hashtag worth.
Yeah, definitely. You can see Imp is going to get some serious damage on the tier 1. In fact, bringing it down after letting the wave sort of reset a little bit. And things looking up for LGD once again. Man, these guys are putting on a really good show. Where have they been all season?
They just needed a little bit of warm-up time. And that's the thing about LGD is you never quite know where their ceiling is as a team just because they had a phenomenal playoff performance and then just really dipped and disappeared. But looking back up to form, and Princess Flame looking pretty good now that he has his completed boots.
LGD is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
I thought that quote might end differently.
I don't quite know where else to have taken that quote.
It's okay.
So we're 10 minutes in right now. LGD are back up by 1,000 gold. Now Dragon is respawning once again. OMG took that first one completely uncontested. I think PYL does see it respawn, but the Scuttle Crab was taken in a timely manner by OMG. They are going to try contesting this blue here. You can see Cool trading now with Godby, even dropping the Ignite, uses the Chrono Break to get out of there, and Godby is caught out of position. He goes down.
Really good collapse from OMG right there. I do want to point out Godby's quick little sidestep to make sure that he didn't get locked up by the parallel convergence. These two mid laners, such a high mechanical ceiling just on their own 1v1 basis. But again, fantastic collapse from OMG, and that pick gives them the free dragon, or if TBQ can steal it.
Yeah, he's got his flash and should be able to dash over the wall. He's going up against
Got the dark passage.
Let's see if he goes for it. 1,700 health. The death sentence finds Shui. He locks it down. Doesn't secure the dragon. Who's going to get it? Oh, it's going to be amazing who gets it, but they get the kill onto Shui.
So well timed right there from PYL, though, because he not only did he throw his dark passage, so obviously TBQ had an out when he decided to charge in, but he locked up the jungler of all people.
Oh, no, and now they've got amazing. He is going down. PYL with another kill.
My favorite part about that was both junglers failing the smite, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll have to see if Xiong is going to be able to make up for the difference of Shui and TBQ, because unfortunately Flame does not have smite. And yeah, 11.5 minutes in, the gold lead now is up to 17,000. That's a 1,700 gold. 1,700.
It's up 17,000 gold. We've seen a game like that.
I don't even think that's possible.
I will remember you, Masters 3.
Through passive gold game.
No, pretty standard. It should be noted and very important, though, that the both bot lanes have again matched up on the bottom side of the map. So OMG weren't able to succeed. Obviously, Uzi and Amazing are down there because they were just vying for the dragon, which did go over to them thanks to Amazing's quick work on Annie Smite.
Annie Smite confirmed.
Annie Smite confirmed.
New meta. How about that Runeglaive, though?
I don't look at
Annie Runeglaive?
upcoming patches because I like to stay relevant on the patch that I'm casting. So I make a point not to read ahead so I don't confuse things.
Clever, clever. More Harass continues to find Cool in the mid lane as Godby is being as incessant as ever. Looks for some support from Amazing and Shui, but instead they're just going to clear wards and roam around from the side. But Godby, his gank sense is tingling.
It should be. He's being camped.
Yeah, he definitely is. But after LGD's early pressure to try camping Cool.
This is very true. It was a nice deep ward spotted. It's just now faded, but it was on the other side of the banana brush that really caught out Shui and Amazing's movement over there, which signaled for Godby to move to the opposite side of the map. So LGD doing a great job with their deep vision to really set up and secure protection. And what's really interesting about how LGD plays their wards is a lot of their vision control actually comes from their mid lane.
We can see Godby has got some decent control wards over that mid lane. Interestingly enough, Imp and PYL show themselves in the mid as they look to catch it out just a bit. That means Uzi is left free farming in the bottom. Now 3 members of OMG are here. They could do some serious damage if they are able to find anyone, but they can't quite pull the trigger. TBQ secures his red buff, and PYL and Imp, after catching that wave, knowing that Uzi's got a freeze, look to head back down to the bottom.
I mean, effectively, everyone's looking for just picks at this point. There's no arena of the Dragon Pit setup. The top tower and the bot tower, respectively, for either teams are still standing. So we're kind of in this elongated lane phase, but there's so many key ultimates up, like the Glacial Prison, like the Dragon Rage, that this game could really break open one way or the other. And you constantly see both teams kind of rotating towards the mid lane, looking for possible picks. Amazing now, kind of zipping around.
Yeah, he's looking left, right, and center to try finding a pick, but he just can't find it. So far, he has been involved in only one of his team's 2 kills, as the game is relatively slow-paced, and as you mentioned, everyone is just looking for picks while the primary carries continue to catch CS.
I like the fact that Amazing actually rotated during the CS being cleared out, so while Fog of War had overtaken the mid lane before placing a very deep ward just outside of tower range. This is a high traffic area, and it's a very clever ward because you can quickly see kind of what they're setting up behind towers or who's moving where around corners, and Fog of War setting up for ganks in the mid lane. So quite clever vision control from Amazing there for OMG. The ward that Godby's walking over right now.
Yeah, he's just not quite able to make anything happen from it. Looks like they might try to catch Xiang on the top side of the map. Equalizer goes down. He's really low mana, is able to get the onslaught of shadows, so he might be able to get out of here. There's the play, there's the box. Are they going to be able to CC lock? Is this the pick LGD we're looking for? It is. Flame gets a kill.
Flame gets a kill, but it doesn't translate into anything. And now,
ooh, Godby forced to flash out of the Chronosphere as Cool finds better positioning.
And Cool, obviously knowing that he could go aggressive, still going aggressive.
Oh yeah, Godby is destroyed by Cool. So much damage. Flame, is he going to complete the teleport? Doesn't have the equalizer. He does, but his mid laner's already dead.
Well, they're looking for a counter engage.
Yeah, they could find PYL here, kicking him right back into the back line. He's forced to flash out of here. Uzi has joined the battle. Finally, PYL goes down, but Shui Shui almost dropped because of it. It's now 1, now 2 kills. The needlessly large rod coming up so big for Flame. Here's the teleport now from Xiang, looking for revenge. They're going to find Flame. He's going to end up going down here. There's the onslaught of shadows. He turns now, isn't able to burn anyone down.
So Flame picks up 2 kills. That said, Uzi went left untouched for the majority of that fight, just ripping through the back line since Rumble wasn't there to be that big frontline member. And as I call him that, like you said, has the needlessly large rod. So we wanted to point out the differences between Flame and Acorn, especially because Rumble is one of Acorn's signature champions, rushing that Zanya's Hourglass, but making sure that he itemizes the straight, flat AP first.
The don't stand on the equalizer or you're dead.
Don't stand in front of me or you're dead.
Don't stand within 500 units of me.
I can't top that.
Any general direction.
But Flame and Uzi, really the 2 primary carries of that last team fight. But again, so action happens, explodes around the map, but because there was no objective that either team was vying for, it doesn't translate into any sort of gold lead one way or the other.
Looks like Xiang with that CS lead in lane is going to be able to finally crack down that top tier 1. Flame punishes him just a bit, but you can see the Cinder Hulk and Merc Treads paying dividends as Flame is quite able to bring him low. The minion wave once again on the bottom side is caught. You do have Godby and TBQ roaming down as well. Glacial Prison is about 30 seconds before it comes back up again, so they could look to set up a dive. OMG, playing it safe, playing it defensive. No, there's no reason to overextend.
Dragon is up. Flame is moseying down from the top side. Big, important ultimates. Obviously, the big thing is that Flame is only level 10 as opposed to level 11, so he doesn't have the second point into the equalizer.
Yeah, he's missing out on some serious CS right now. You can see he's down about 26 behind Xiang. And Dragon's now just spawned. Both of the teams are jockeying for position, but no one's quite able to find it. Interesting decision to allow Flame to go in the mid lane and catch some of that CS, get closer to that level 11, while the rest of LGD wait behind the Raptor camp.
The only person who's a lower level than Flame is PYL. Even the 80 carry is a higher level and has the level 2 ultimate available.
So once again, the Dragon is pulled out. OMG grouping up rather tightly. A Glacial Prison could spell their doom as Flame still doesn't have level 11. The Dragon is being burned through 1,800 health, 13. It goes in. TBQ doesn't get the steal. A huge Prison turns the fight, however, as the Equalizer splits the team in half. Amazing goes down. Xiang dives on the PYL, but that's not the carry. He's taking a lot of damage with his lack of armor, and Imp is doing some serious work right here. Cool is able to assassinate him, but he's lost 3 members of his team for the 2 of LGD. Now they're chasing down Cool. He should be able to get out of here.
He's got Flame behind him.
Yeah, he is going to be looking. He's standing on top of that ward, however. And yeah, Cool escapes just fine.
I'm glad that you pointed out the Equalizer splitting that fight in half. That was really the key to success for LGD right there, as well as the massive amount of AoE damage that Godby just dropped across the majority of OMG members. Uzi melted. Doesn't equal the Dragon, though. OMG managed to take that one away, and they don't translate it to any sort of tower. So, yeah, good team fight, but it's really just the kill gold.
Yeah, and so far with that kill gold, It seems like it's not coming up for that much, as right now it's dead even in gold between the two teams. Here's a replay once again.
Okay, so the big important thing is where Flame drops this equalizer, which he drops it on, I think, 3 members. Xiangbin immediately onslaught of shadows to the other side of the team fight, quickly cleaned up. Uzi eats a hook, immediately deletes to a Victor laser, and just the power of Godby, the power of Victor, and just how much control he has on in front of him.
Great play out of both LGD and OMG. With that, it's the 3rd Dragon secured now for OMG. Trinity Force finished on Uzi. Morellonomicon now done for Cool, and he's got a needlessly large rod too, so we'll see what he decides to build that into. Some serious damage spikes are being hit now by OMG, and LGD are hot on their heels.
Imagine if that was a level 11 equalizer. I feel like it was the Thunderdome trapping them in the Dragon Pit. They couldn't escape, and then it just allowed LG to clean up.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves. 2 men enter. Well, I guess, what was that? Like 4 men enter, 3 men leave.
3 men burn to death as they attempt to leave.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they didn't have bungee cords to jump around on, so it wasn't as spectacular as the Thunderdome, but OMG find a rotation now in the mid lane. They managed to take down that last Tier 1 turret for LGD, and so far it looks like OMG are getting the better of LGD in Game 2.
And it's primarily on their objective control. That said, another tower did just fall for LGD's favor, but OMG still with a slight lead, and more importantly, the Dragon control. So this has been the real difference between these two members, but in turn, they've sacrificed a lot of CS discrepancies across pretty much every lane.
Yeah, we can see Imp once again in the CS lead over Uzi, despite a bit of a rougher laning phase. Flame was able to catch up with CS Cool with a good dodge there. He's got some fast reflexes. Love to see Kobe do the math on that one.
I think he just wants to style.
He's like, you know what? If Wild Turtle can flash out of a Malphite ultimate, I can dodge out of a death sentence.
Especially because it has such a long wind-up animation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you can see Cool on the screen right now. He's doing pretty solid for OMG on that Echo. He's actually had a pretty good showing this game.
This is a big thing about Cool. So OMG does have 2, we talked about kind of the star-studded lineup of LGD, and OMG really, they have 2 superstars. They've got their mid laner Cool, and they have their ADC Uzi.
Yeah.
And majority of their resources, again, Uzi gets the most, or the highest percentage of gold of any player in LPL. He gets 25% of his team's gold. But Cool, a lot of games have live and died on his performance. He had a fantastic LeBlanc earlier in the split. His Ahri is well renowned. He's showing up on the Echo, so can't count them out yet, but it's not been the consistent thing that OMG fall back to on giving resources to Cool and allowing him to carry.
Yeah, and on the other side, you can see Imp on your screen right now. He's having a pretty good showing on Sivir. Unfortunately, was assassinated by Cool in that last team fight, but his positioning has been stellar in these fights so far, and really, it has been Imp and Godby who have been the primary carries for LGD.
I don't know, Flame showed up really big in that initial team fight with a needlessly large rod from his Zarnia's Hourglass, so we'll see. And it's always, it makes me laugh every single time that Acorn gets to play Kennen or Flame is playing Rumble, just because obviously it's the swap of their actual comfort picks and champions. That is PYL. Obviously he's wearing the mask because he had reconstructive jaw surgery. He looks very handsome now.
I'm sure he does.
Beautiful man.
Unfortunately, you just have to imagine that he talks like this, like Bane, all the time.
He's got a cute cat.
Interesting.
We've gone so deep that we're talking about LGD's cat.
Yeah. But all right, let's get back to the League of Legends at hand. All right, so LGD, despite having a mild advantage in the early game and the incredible outplay in the top 2v2, they're actually down right now. They are not snowballing this game anywhere near as hard as they were in the previous one.
Well, the big thing is the objectives as we get back into the game. When OMG are finding fights, or even when LGD are finding fights, I mean, that last one, LGD won the team fight, but OMG got the dragon. And if OMG find picks, it translates into towers. They have a 1 tower lead, and that's pretty much where this entire, gold difference, as I say, that LGD actually has the lead.
Yeah.
And that's, again, from the CS discrepancies almost entirely.
To continue on that, the CS discrepancy is probably going to stay pretty even, as OMG are generally pretty good at putting CS on the right people. LGD, as far as this game, really they seem to be having difficulty taking objectives. It's when OMG make a mistake that they are able to effectively take turrets and take dragons. And OMG, this game, haven't made anywhere near as many.
And think about how they positioned that last team fight on the Dragon as an example. The fact that TBQ is looking more so for the steal on the Dragon as opposed to lining up a true Glacial Prison. Because they were bunched up for a long time on the front of that pit. He could have hit 4 members, but instead he saves it, he holds it, he throws it only after he's charged in because he's trying to catch Shui Shui off guard so he can get the better in the Smite War.
Wasn't quite able to find it, but Shui Shui did secure it that time around, as compared to the previous time when he was unsuccessful. Now, Dragon's back up in a minute and a half. Time flies when you're playing League of Legends.
Time flies when you're having fun.
And this time, OMG looked to take it a little bit more convincingly. This would be Dragon number 4, and if they take it, that puts them on timer for a 30-minute Dragon 5, which would be huge. The stun, is forced to be flashed out of PYL. A great death sentence actually denies him. Here's the teleport coming in from Flame as well. They look to collapse. Amazing's like, where do I go? Where do I go? Well, you're going to the grave, friend. Zanyas is used by Flame as the fight breaks out full wholesale. Well, the LGD just can't quite find the way in.
Good disengage there from Shui Shui to kind of cut losses. My favorite part was Imp running on the backside of that fight. I'm here, guys. I'm trying to help.
I'm totally here. The death sentence being tossed out once again. Doesn't find anyone. Uzi, with sufficient wave clear, should keep that one standing.
They get a pick. It doesn't mean anything. All of those viable cooldowns, though, valuable cooldowns, like the On the Hunt, will be available shortly, though. And if this Dragon stalls out just slightly longer than 40 seconds, they'll be sure to have all that up. So that's not going to be too high impact there. The flashes, however, weren't burned. Okay, just double check.
Yeah, PYL did flash because he was almost caught out by Cool there. They're so afraid of that Echo stun, the Chronosphere. It's really hard to hit. It feels so satisfying when you do.
There's been a lot of different itemization on Echo for this mid lane. Cool opting for the Abyssal into the Morellos. We'll see what he goes with that needlessly large rod. I would like to see a Luden's Echo.
We haven't seen a lot of it.
I know, it's been really hit and miss. Dade, who was it Dade who did the Sheen first?
Yeah.
Rush? And he lost that game.
Yeah, well. I still think that the best Echo that I've seen so far is Amy, who played it in the jungle. Yeah,
I think a lot of success has really come from Echo in the jungle, although Cool and Rookie looked good. I mean, Cool, this is his second Echo mid-game competitively. Have looked good with it in the mid lane. Rookie, probably the most impressive mid lane Echo that we've seen so far. Although Korn was really hot as well.
He is indeed. Now, the cooldowns have come up for that Glacial Prison.
Is he hot?
For the cooldown of the Glacial Prison.
No, you're fine.
Ice cold.
Ice, baby. Watch this Glacial Prison. It's all about this ultimate.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Death Sentence goes wide. Dragon is being secured. They're going to try burning through. The stun comes out. Xiong gets into the back line. Dragon is forgotten as the fight breaks out full.
Oh my god.
Huge equalizer, and the AoE stack shreds through OMG. Cool and Uzi are running for their lives as LGD lined that up perfectly.
Princess Flame just destroyed OMG's backline with that equalizer perfectly placed all over the Glacial Prison. That's the Dragon and possibly the Baron as LGD quickly run across this mid lane.
They're running as fast as they can. Uzi gets level 14 from the passive experience gain, and here comes OMG's Cool as well. They're going to try burning through this so fast and shredding through the health. You can see they do so much damage, trading the aggro. Even Godby and Imp getting in there.
Oh, Uzi's here.
Yeah, Uzi and Cool looking for the steal. The Death Sentence finds Cool. There's the Chronosphere. Cool has a shield, but the Baron has been secured. They're going to try picking up these kills. Cool jumps out of the backside of the pit, and Uzi with the rocket kills Imp. PYL looks like he's going to go down. Cool trades it, and that's a quick 2 kills for Cool and Uzi.
That said, it's still very important that they have Baron on at least 3 members, but if they can make it out alive, try to use the empowered backs.
Oh my gosh, Godby is going to be caught here. Xiong even teleporting in as well. Godby's got no mana, he's got no help, he's got no backup, he's got no life as he goes down.
That was pretty cute. Godby's like, no, not me, sacrifice yourself, Tanks. No, but what I was saying is it's really important that LGD were going to make it out with 3 Barons so they could use the buff in either of the lanes. We're going to quickly see this team fight. And the only thing you need to know about this team fight is that equalizer. That is across all 5 members of OMG. And not only, but it was perfectly CC'd with the Glacial Prison, with the Chaos Storm. They just melted.
Yeah, that was a huge play from LGD in picking that up. They now secure the Baron, and they do have a 1,000 gold lead, but the Baron is only on 2 members. That's Flame and TBQ as Godby, Imp, and PYL died. to OMG's counter-attack.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That means this push might be a little bit more difficult. Flame doesn't have his teleport either, which means he's probably going to be grouped up with his team. Yeah, there are forward pings to go down. Might they finally crack this mid-tier 1 27, 28 minutes into the game?
Cool needs to be really careful.
Yeah, he drops the Chronosphere, looks to potentially turn a fight as his Chrono Break did just come up, but the Baroned Up Cannon minion does so much. Not quite as much as Imp has, however, as Imp drops that turret like a sack of bricks.
So using, of course, their... I love the Chinese voice for Echo. That was so good. Using their Baroned Up minion, consolidating all the resources in the mid lane. We'll see if they look for a dive. They have every key ultimate up and available. The Equalizer, the Glacial Prism, the On the Hunt.
Yeah, the Chronosphere goes out. Imp, ooh, good spell shield. Actually blocks the...
slow?
He blocks the slow, but takes the missile from Uzi. So all in all, a worth trade. Baron still up as they're waiting for wave after wave. They've got the bot tier 2 pushing. Potentially might find Xiong here. Chronosphere once again being dropped out. They find TBQ and PYL diving into them. Glacial Prison comes out, but Imp does so much damage. You can see he destroyed Amazing. Shui Shui is on the back running for his life. Imp uses the cleanse there. There's the Glacial Prison. Xiong is going to go down despite a great onslaught of shadows. And just like that, 3 members of OMG go down.
OMG used so many resources and committed far too hard onto the support and the jungle, the tankiest member of LGD, and they didn't even kill anyone.
Yeah, they definitely didn't. You can see that the siege is still continuing a bit for LGD. They're trying to escort this minion wave as quick as they can. They lose 1 cannon minion, however. And with that, they should be able to crack down this inhibitor turret. Cool, still alive, might look for a play. Gets caught in the death sentence, forced to flash away. He's waiting for that huge AoE stun. Is he going to be able to find it? Not quite. Instead, procs the shield, and the inhibitor is still standing.
OMG managing to save their inhib, so sigh of relief for them there, but LGD a huge swing in power having this Baron and breaking down the mid inhib line.
Yeah, that definitely is helping propel them closer to victory as they're now up 4,000 gold. That mid inhibitor turret is gone. BOIL completes his recall along with the rest of LGD. Flame, ooh, almost gets caught out there, but Cool instead just zones him away, cancels the recall and clears out a ward instead. And LGD, these guys have been finding such great team fights, and OMG, they've been pretty scattered.
Flame having a great performance too. 6-1 and 7 for his Rumble right now. Has his penetration complete, so this is a very scary turning point, especially as we come closer to this this next dragon, 1 minute 30 seconds. And OMG, I mean, they can't really afford to lose another team fight there because LGD could very easily and quickly walk that up into that midline inhibitor.
Yeah. Definitely a big window of opportunity. As you mentioned, dragon number 4 for OMG is going to be spawning in 1 minute. That dragon is so important, and they just haven't been able to secure it yet. As Cool and Uzi, the primary damage sources, have been having a really difficult time. Actually, Cool has only died once so far after all of the pressure that was put on him in mid lane, so he's doing a pretty good job to keep his team alive.
But the issue is, you know, giving Cool resources, making him the primary carry, can it translate to a victory for OMG, or do they really only have one formula to success? Camp Uzi, snowball game. Because so far, yeah, Cool's playing phenomenally. We said one of the stronger mid lane echoes that we've seen, trying to find his parallel convergence there. But 6-1 and 4 just really unable to lead OMG to success.
Yeah, you can see Xiong going for a bit of split push right now as he's so close to finishing off that Frozen Heart. Dragon's up in 20 seconds, Baron now in 2. Recall coming out of Flame. He's already got a Void Staff for the full penetration Rumble. He's going to finish it off for a Home Guard, and with Teleport available, he's going to stop Xiong from pushing that tier 2. The rest of LGD shove up in the mid. Knowing that Dragon's available, this is a huge play.
This should be a free objective. OMG do have multiple wards littered throughout that river, however, so they will see this coming through.
They're trying to make it there in time. There are
Look
so many pings going down. Yeah.
Ping, 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 ping.
LGD just looking for the target. Here comes the Chronosphere. Is Cool going to find it?
Is he going to do it?
Yeah,
Nope.
not quite.
This is how I really like how Chinese teams are using Echo, because they're all about using terrain and setting up team fights and going at multiple angles. It's all about that parallel convergence that's really separating good Echoes from amazing Echoes. Almost find that steal.
Doesn't quite find it. It is secured. There goes the on the hunt. Shui Shui walks right onto Imp, kicks him into Uzi. He's forced to flash from the backside. Here's Xiong chasing Imp around, but there's so much damage on LGD's side. They're just shredding through even the tank line. Amazing goes down. Shui Shui is dead. He flashes the wall now. There goes the Chronosphere for a slow. But again, it's only 2 members of OMG alive.
Cool was on completely the wrong side of that fight. Literally did nothing for his team as LGD just stacking their AoE and just running through OMG.
Yeah, with that, the mid inhibitor is going to go down. They escorted a wave up there as well. They could look for more. Instead, they're going to back away, continue to play it safe. The inhibitor is dead. Baron's up in 20 seconds.
A dragon, a team fight, now the inhibitor, and this is going to give them full reign to set up their vision and either look for a pick or look for a free Baron. That was a huge misstep by OMG.
We'll definitely see if OMG can turn this around. They're down 10 kills now, 6,000 gold, and that mid inhibitor, and the chances of going for that 5th dragon are just not working out for them as well at all, as LGD are just putting so much pressure on OMG that they can't keep up.
I mean, I hate to say it, but this was a really important week for OMG where they could solidify that, yes, we're the real deal. This new roster, this pseudo-Starhorn Royal Club, we can be just as important and just as powerful as 2014 OMG, and they're dropping the ball. If they don't have Maokai, if they don't have Sivir, they don't win the game.
Yeah, we can see that they're not quite putting out anywhere near enough damage, and even the tanky frontliners are being shredded through so quickly as Godfrey, Imp, and Flame are having one heck of a game. You can see Xiong going for a bit of a split push right now, finally finished off that Frozen Heart. Ping's going down. Looks like he should be able to get some free damage onto that tier 2, so LGD pull the trigger, they start the Baron.
Now, Shui Shui is on the back of the pit. Does have it warded. Could look for a steal. Obviously, Lee Sin has...
Yeah,
oh,
comes
God.
down. Cool goes super aggressive. Burns the chrono break way too early. TBQ with a huge Glacial Prison. Another equalizer to follow it up. Jiang's on the backside. He kicks Godby into the Baron, but there's just no damage for OMG. It's 3 members now dead. Flame with the Zanya stays alive, and Uzi, despite excellent poke and Cool, despite huge damage, just can't close it out.
They slow and stop the Baron, however, so mission successful for OMG right there, but just, oh my, that damage, the AoE lockdown, the Glacial Prison into the Equalizer, such a wombo combo, and LGD hitting their ultimates perfectly. They didn't team fight last game, but they're doing it to perfection this time around.
Yeah, it really seemed like Cool was a little bit desperate at the beginning of that fight, saying like, all right, they're at Baron, let's go in, let's go in, let's go in. Oh, you guys didn't go in, now I have to burn my ultimate. And without that, he had to play so far back, so defensive, that ended up hurting him. Now LGD are back on the Baron once again. 35 minutes in, they took the first one.
Not in position.
Yeah, they look now for the second one. Shui Shui running as fast as his little Lee Sin legs can carry him, but he can't quite make it in time. Let's see if Uzi can't get the steal with the rocket. Nope, doesn't find it, and it's TBQ who gets the smite.
Another Baron, second Baron to LGD, and OMG just can't get their team fighting together. Complete change of identity. This used to be what OMG were known for, was their incredible team fight. The ability to come from any angle to collapse perfectly as a unit, and just, they've got one formula, and it's been exposed now.
Yeah, with that formula cracked, LGD are mass producing and multiplying, and it seems like OMG just can't keep up with the production now from LGD as they shove now onto the tier 2 turret. It goes down without losing a single minion, and now they're going to get onto the inhibitor.
This is OMG's last stand. That said, they don't really have to worry about, oh my god, the poke
so much damage. The Onslaught of Shadows finds them. Oh, he knocks them out of the parallel convergence. So perfectly placed. The Glacial Prison Equalizer combo is so big. It's been perfect all game, and it's perfect once again as the inhibitor goes down. Here's another parallel convergence. He looks for PYL, finds him with the stun, but the Flay delays the death of PYL. He's taken so much damage here, but they just can't close it out. So much damage coming across. Xiong can't find a kill either. Imp is caught! Imp is caught! No, he's actually going to make it out just fine. Cool breaks his way back into the fight, and things just cannot go OMG's way. They cannot find a break.
Well, their 2 inhibitors have been broken. I'm really impressed with Flame this game. Yeah, he's not a Rumble player. I mean, he's turned into a Rumble player, as Rumble's fantastic now, but originally it was Acorn who was the big Rumble player. And if I had to give it to anyone this game, I mean, obviously his score line says it all. 10, 1, and 9 right now in this Rumble. Just absurd amounts of damage, but the equalizer placed perfectly every single time.
Yeah, he manages to find those perfect equalizers, and his synergy with TBQ on those Glacial Prisons has been so excellent. You can see he's actually down a whopping 90 CS to Xiang, but he's more than making up for that difference by his kill participation. 19 out of 25, and TBQ, he's at 20 out of 25. Same thing with Imp and PYL. I mean, this LGD team has been fighting so excellently.
And this is the big difference between, hold on. No, he's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's not.
Might try to catch Cool here. TBQ locking him down as PYL looks for the death sentence. Is he going to be able to find a Glacial Prison even being used? There's the Chrono Break, but Cool's going to go down. It's Godvi who picks up that huge stack of shutdown gold. They get onto the tier 2 turret. They might just be looking to end the game right here.
The difference between LGD and OMG, LGD have so many more threats and options across their roster where, hey, I'm having a bad game, you can pick up the mantle, you can carry the game. OMG, if Uzi's not control, if he doesn't have the helm, they just go straight downhill.
They certainly are. LGD now rushing forward onto the inhibitor now that the turret has fallen. They find the inhibitor undefended. The middle one did just respawn. Pings are going down to defend it, but instead LGD look for their third dragon.
Not going to push their luck. They just picked up a ton of global gold. Not only the shutdown on Cool, but also picking up 2 towers as well as the inhibitor with the dragon. They're going to go back. They're going to level up, spend all of that gold, and look to clean this one out fairly textbook.
Yeah, this is LGD playing so excellently, and after a really slow early game, I don't know what happened, but like 30 minutes in, they were like, all right, let's win.
Well,
and boom, it just accelerated.
To be fair to LGD, they've always had a fairly weak early game because, again, their jungler in TBQ isn't the strongest. And to be fair to TBQ, he was facing against the likes of Insect, Dandy, Cacao. So there was a long list where he had to get in line and kind of rank up there. But their early game has always been pretty suspect, very slow. And it's really that mid-game when, again, PYL is getting involved with the team, helping navigate them and micromanage them across the map, leading these team fights. So
with that, you can see it's opening up to a 15-kill advantage, nearly 11,000 gold. Looks like Cool getting a little bit cheeky as he recalls in LGD's jungle, but 2 inhibitors are down. Should be an easy siege to break down this last inhibitor. Flame waiting with the home guard teleport, not on Hecarim, but on Rumble, as Xiang is forced to recall the base to help try to defend, but Imp does so much damage here. Same thing with Flame. I mean, there are so many different damage sources from LGD. They're going to get onto this inhibitor now. OMG trying to spread out so they don't get caught in another Glacial Prison, but they can't find a way in. Ooh, there goes the parallel convergence. They find TBQ a little bit. He's taking a lot of damage, but he's the tank. He goes low. Is he going to go down? He does go down. Uzi gets the kill. Xiang will trade his life over as Imp does so much. Cool staggers without Flame, dodges the damage with his Zhonya's flash play from PYL onto Cool as Imp chases away the remaining carries. Cool continues to run for his life. He's staggering it out in the back line, but the inhibitor goes down. Godvi and Imp are mostly untouched here as they're getting onto the important objectives. Imp, is he going to fall bait for this? He spell shields the stun and destroys Cool. The rest of LGD are on the Nexus. They're going to take this series 2-0 over OMG.
What a beautiful spell shield. That was pretty much the game summed up in one little movement right there. So Godfrey's not even smiling. He's like, yeah, just another day in the office.
Yeah.
Flame coming up huge.